You are her alpha. No matter whether you like it or not, your house, you are your woman's alpha and your children's alpha. And you have to learn how to break away from empathy. The narcissistic empath is a sweet spot, could it be? I think that's a contradiction in terms. All right. My wife loves to be led. Yeah, but one of my friends asked me recently for female advice. And he was saying that his girl loves to be led, but also sometimes starts getting bossy and stuff, and like how to manage that and all that. Good women have the ability to lead because they lead the children. The man leads the whole family, but the woman has to have strong managerial abilities. So if you're with a girl who, likes to be led by you, but sometimes starts trying to lead you, it's because she wants a baby. Because she's going to be the one. I mean, women have to have that in them, or else they aren't good mothers. Straight up. Evil predates on empaths all the time too. Yeah. It's dangerous. Empathy is dangerous. Because it's what Ira does all the time. Don't you? You're trying to hurt me. That's all empathy vampires. And so empathy vampires have come at me my whole life. And I've gotten to a point where I can identify the pattern. I can turn off my empathy, and that's great. A man manages the territory so the woman can manage the home. Yeah, totally. Like Amy has managerial control over the children. Now, if I see a broad thing going off course, I discipline. I can make broad shifts, like no more jabs, no non-GMO food. This is where we're going to live. Like, okay, here's a broad thing that I did recently. Like Amy sometimes does turn on the TV for the kids if she needs to do something, and there's 3 little boys and they need to just zombie out a little to let her accomplish a task. That's okay. I would prefer they never watch TV, but it's a team. We're a team, and the kids need that sometimes for Amy's sanity. And so I've noticed recently that they'll pretend to be superheroes. Like, oh, I'm Mr. Incredible, blah, blah, blah. And I've nipped that right in the bud. No more superhero talk. And if they're going to be super, they have to make it up themselves. Like right now, Walter is Magic Walter and Charlie's the Flying Octopus. Because that's a tool of manipulation. So she can manage the kids, and she's told me, and I respect that, every now and then she has to turn on a relatively based movie. I thought Mr. The Incredibles 1, it emphasizes family. It doesn't have obvious grabbles in it. Okay. But I just nipped that in the bud, though. Yeah, Walter's kid. Yeah. If they look up to Superman or Batman or Spider-Man, they're going to be manipulated. Superman is now, Batman and Robin are now guys. So what you do, the false idol, the way it works, the Bible is literally true. So it's like, wait till Mama Jean comes and keeps them under. Guys, no one's more entertained than my kids outside of the TV. They're doing violin lessons. They're constantly cooking and building and cleaning and playing outside and all that. But every now and then, Amy requires them to just stare at something while she does something. Totally fine. Yeah, Little Bear is based. Yeah, Little Bear's good. And I also don't want them to have no exposure to the TV, because then when they do, it could be like really bad. All right, so with false idols where it's like, I'm Spider-Man, I'm Superman. It's like Hannah Montana. They latch on a kid, and then it becomes Miley Cyrus, and they're alchemically changing the child's inner world to slowly make them what they want. That's why I nip that in the bud. That's why, like, as leader of the house, I can do stuff like that. Like, that has to stop. Overall, that's bad. But overall, Amy has so much power in the home. It's insane. She decides what they do, what they wear, what they eat. I decide overall, we're going to have, like, basically the way man and woman works is like the man's like the CEO of like a company where the man's like the CEO, the woman is like the general manager of the plant. So she's making all the decisions, all the day-to-day stuff. Every now and then the CEO comes in, fires somebody, someone gets spanked, says, I want more of an open field here. And then again, like big ideas. I'm like, we're getting a cow. here's a bunch of milk. Do with it whatever you want. Now Amy's making the cheese, the yogurt. I don't micromanage her at all. That's how it works. Because a lot of people, especially in the last 2 years, have had marital problems because of the stresses and the despair and the empathy vampires and all that and the financial stuff. And so I've been asked a lot, advice, because it appears me and Amy have never had problems. We absolutely have had problems. Especially in the beginning of our relationship, it was like crazy turbulent. And we still, every now and then, will get in a fight, and it is what it is. But the good thing about Amy and I is we are we see it almost like your family gives people hope. It should. It's a great family. But that being said, it's not perfect. And the way to deal with it is like, I'll give you an example, and then I'll finish these letters. Amy is slightly type A, engineering type, very neat, very clean, likes things orderly. I'm basically a bear. So how do we function without constantly annoying each other? She would view me like I would just mess up her area, and then I would view her as like a buzzkill that's always hiding my shit. I used to literally accuse her of hiding my stuff. Here's perfect communication advice. So let's say it's like, you can say, hey, love, where's my jump rope? Versus, hey, love, where did you hide my jump rope? You see how one's accusatory? So her ordering things and putting things away, I viewed as hiding my stuff. She would view me as this like Attila the Hun character that would go through an area and just make everything insane. So how do we fix it? Jurisdictional controls. So I have my region of chaos within 10 feet of this piano. I got like letters all over the place. There's like a knife right here. There's like animal furs. Okay, so this area, she has no right to ever touch anything in it. And she respects that. This is my domain. This is my area. Oh my God, my husband does that. Drives me nuts. Why would I hide your stuff? In our mind, you hid it. I put it somewhere. You moved it and hid it. And it's because you don't want me to have a good time. I used to literally think that Amy was trying to buzzkill me. Where it's like, where did you hide my knife? So you don't want me to have my knife? So then the reverse is Amy gets the kitchen. And dude, if I can do it, you guys can do it. We live in a 500 square foot place. So if I can pull this off, you can pull this off. So the entire kitchen area is her domain. When I'm there, I'm respectful. I pretty much ask not ask, but I'm like, it's like, that's her domain. So I'm not moving things around. I'm not, any of that stuff. So she has to clean it. She has to do all of it, but I'm not going to make it any worse or better or anything. Now, over time, I now have sometimes I'll do the dishes. Sometimes I'll do that. She gets really happy because now I see her patterns. And if she's like sick or any of that stuff, she gets really happy if I help out, because now with proper jurisdictions, it's great. Like if I ask her to help clean up this area, she loves it. I love it. It's great. But you have to, set up a system where this is your area. And she can't, because in her mind, taking my little, my little flashlight here and putting it in a box over there labeled flashlights, but the label is like facing the wall. To her, that's helpful. To me, that's a literal nightmare. I'm like, flashlight. It's right where I put it, by the letters. And so we're never going to see eye to eye. This is one of the best parts about marriage. It helps you understand that it helps you accept and focus on your tasks. Like every morning I wake up, I feed the animals, I milk the animals, I walk around, I let out some chickens, I do that. I have all these tasks. Then I think about the stream. I sit there on my phone looking at what people are sending me. Then I go to the post office box, get my mail, blah, 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 blah. Okay. She wakes up. She changes Jack's diaper, puts all the kids in clothes, starts cooking breakfast, doing this, cleaning up this area. She has a tremendous amount of tasks, but they're her tasks and I have my tasks. And if you're focused on your tasks, your mission, you don't look at each other and just get mad. I see a lot of that. I see a lot of people without enough tasks or missions where then you just sit there and then you just look at each other and you're like, why do my flashlight? It's like they're not the focus. You should not be focusing on your wife, and your wife shouldn't be focused on you like that. And then when you come together, it's really pleasurable. You know, like when you sit down to your wife's meal, that you did the, like, for example, just in my world, every group is different. You might have a woman who makes the income and you don't. And that's, you know, that's not my path. But if that is your path, you have to set boundaries, figure everything out. You have to be more domestic, all that stuff. But you have to have a role. And you're not a special boy. So if your wife is working and making the income, you better have food for her. You better, you know, and it is a gender reversal, so it's not ideal, but it's okay. It is okay. You can make it work, but don't be an unemployed man while she's an employed woman. You have to be a domestic engineer. If you want to call yourself a domestic engineer, go for it. But you better have food ready. You better keep it clean. You better have the kids going. And then you have a very important role. If you're just sitting around like an asshole while she's working and you're like, oh, men aren't supposed to do the laundry, then you're useless. And vice versa. It's like the woman should have primary care of children, primary care of food preparation, domestic engineering is very important.